Our first Easter egg can be found in the episode Bottle Burglars, and it references the iconic Season 2 episode Frankendoodle. In this episode, SpongeBob and Squidward accidentally let Plankton slip away with the coveted Krabby Patty secret formula. So, as you can imagine, the episode is primarily focused on the not-so-dynamic duo trying to retrieve it. Well, spoiler alert, they do, and the episode has a happy ending. But if we watch closely when Squidward turns on the Krusty Krab security footage, a drawing of Doodle Bob can be seen on the bottom of the table, referencing both Frankendoodle and Doodle Dimension. I have always loved Doodle Bob, so this Easter egg is awesome. Here's a clip with audio.
And when Squidward answers the door, it won't be me! Aw, look at him. Ain't he a doll? All he needs is a tie. Ready for action!
Whack! Whack! Whack!
Come on. Now let's see if the security cameras picked anything up.
Hi, I'd like to order half a Krabby Patty, please.
In the episode Whatever Happened to SpongeBob, SpongeBob develops amnesia after running away from Bikini Bottom and eventually finds himself in New Kelp City. This place is very similar to New York, and believe it or not, SpongeBob actually becomes mayor of this place. However, due to him having amnesia and forgetting his name, he goes by a new name, that being Mayor Cheesehead Brownpants. Well, this is actually referenced in the Season 7 episode One Course Meal, when Plankton literally refers to SpongeBob as Cheesehead. Here's a clip.
For this, I appoint you Mayor of New Kelp City!
Plankton, what you doing laying in the middle of the road?
Go away, Cheesehead! Can't you see I'm trying to get run over? In fact, better yet, just step on me as hard as you can. Would you do that for me?
One of my favorite classic or iconic SpongeBob episodes is Season 3's Krusty Krab training video, an episode that parodies fast food training videos from the 90s and does a very good job at doing so. Now, as a kid, I absolutely loved this episode, so I was really happy when it got referenced in the episode Appointment TV. In this episode, a rare episode of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy is going to air on TV, and SpongeBob wants to record it. So at one point of the episode, we see him set up his VHS to record, and he looks at his tape collection to tape over a tape and record the show. And it seems that one of these tapes is the Krusty Krab training video, thus making for a really heartwarming and cool Easter egg. Here's a clip with audio.
All that's left is to set the VCR to record, so I can relive the magic over and over forever. But which tape to use? Don't have any blank ones left. Oh, here we go. Who needs a tape of their own birth anyway?
To keep up with today's demanding customers, no expense has been spared to acquire all the latest achievements in fast food technology.
This here is an advanced patty control mechanism. Here you can see our automated money handling system. Don't touch.
In the Season 6 episode, The Krabby Chronicle, we get a cameo from a longtime fan favorite character that had been absent for some time. Now, back in Season 3, we got the iconic episode, Nasty Patty, an episode all about Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob nearly killing an innocent health inspector. Now, this health inspector is named Health Inspector Yellowtail Andy, and after missing for a few seasons, he made his much welcomed return in the episode The Krabby Chronicle. During this scene where he closes down the chum bucket after seeing an ad in the newspaper revealing that the food is legitimately made with chum. Ew. He even puts a giant out of business sticker on the chum bucket to really push the point. Fun fact, this episode is also where the health inspector's last name was first revealed to be Yellowtail. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, and also just saying, the character has made other appearances since the Krabby Chronicle, but this episode was his first reappearance in years. Here's a clip of the Easter egg with audio.
Hey, this guy's not a zombie. He's just an ordinary health inspector.
Yes. And at the risk of being hit again, I'd like to present you with this.
Hey, Mr. Krabs, look! We passed the inspection!
Come on, everybody! Krabby Patties and half price! Well, not really.
Oh boy, I'd like a Krabby Patty.
The chum stick that's finally gonna drive Krabs out of business!
I think not. I'm Health Inspector Yellowtail. I'm officially closing down your restaurant. That's not what this says.
Plankton's chum made of your chums? The chum bucket serves your friends in more ways than one? What? Who's to blame for this? Who?
In the episode, Krusty Catering, we're introduced to a new business scheme by Mr. Krabs, a catering service where SpongeBob, Squidward, and even Patrick cater food at parties and look after kids. Now at the ending of this episode, it's presumed that Mr. Krabs has ended the services and goes back to just running the Krusty Krab. However, it seems the business is still going, including the truck, as in the episode Plankton retires, there's a scene where Mr. Krabs claims he's off to go and make a delivery, and a patty falls out of the Krusty catering truck, not only giving us a really cool Easter egg, but also confirmation that the business is still operating, even in season 12, so yeah, really cool.
I cannot believe I let you talk me into this.
I'm off to make a delivery.
That fool.
Okay, so listen up, as this next Easter egg is a little complex. In SpongeBob, every episode has a production code, and sometimes these production codes will be hidden in episodes as Easter eggs. So, as you can imagine, this is exactly the case in the episode Food PBFFT Truck, as one of the signs at the Rock Bottom Mall reads SB138, which is actually a reference to the production code of the season 1 episode Rock Bottom, which makes sense because it's in the Rock Bottom Mall. So yeah, it's very subtle, but boy, is it cool to see such an iconic episode referenced in the modern day. Here's a clip.
Maybe the Rock Bottom Mall? Where is everybody? The circus should be good for crowds.
Maybe it's a flea circus.
Yeah? It's still warm.
And last but not least, our final Easter egg can be found in another extremely recent SpongeBob episode, Patrick the Mailman. This Easter egg is similar to the one found in Say Ah, as it has to do with a long-lost character, that being SpongeBob's jellyfishing idol, Kevin C. Cucumber. Kevin made his first appearance in the episode I'm Your Biggest Fanatic, but since then, we haven't really seen him for a while. Well, that is, until Patrick the Mailman, as this episode marks Kevin C. Cucumber's first major appearance since I'm Your Biggest Fanatic, from season 2, thus making for a really cool callback. Our next Easter egg can be found in the season 13 episode Upturned Girls, an episode we've admittedly talked about a lot recently, but only because the episode is full of spicy Easter eggs. Now, the Easter egg in question has to do with this obscure SpongeBob villain, the Atomic Flounder. This supervillain was formerly an enemy of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, and made his first appearance in the season 1 episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2, as an old retired version of himself that gets attacked by SpongeBob. Now, since season 1, the character has barely been seen, let alone mentioned. That is, until the episode Upturned Girls, as when Pearl and Narlene first arrive at Upturns, the exact same old retired version of the Atomic Flounder makes his first appearance in 20 plus years, making for a really cool little reference. Here's a clip.
And Barnacle Boy laid an egg. Hey!
Ah, that fellow over there used to be the Atomic Flounder. He could go back to crime, just like that.
Help! Help! Help somebody there!
You're under arrest, Atomic Flounder.
Stop, kid! Stop!
is my favorite department store and like the heart of the big city.
The character Lady Upturn was first introduced in the episode Krusty Catering, and has been quite the reoccurring character ever since, with her even being included in the SpongeBob spin-off Camp Coral, with a major role. Well, the episode Upturn Girls, an episode we already talked about today, gave Lady Upturn's character even more personality, with Lady Upturn getting her own luxury shop called Upturns. And this is where we can find our last Easter egg, as if we watch closely during this scene, we can see that an extremely rare incidental makes their first appearance in nearly 20 years, that being the female collector, who made her last appearance in the Season 3 episode One Krabs Trash, where she wants to buy the soda drinking hat for Mr. Krabs. Talk about a long-lost character.
I'm prepared to give you $500 for that drink hat.
Not so fast, I'll give you $1,000 for such a hat.
The episode, 20,000 Patties Under the Sea, has an Easter egg in its title. For those who may not know, the title is a reference to a Julie Verne novel, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That's not the only Easter egg present in this episode, though. The con man from the episode Chocolate with Nuts is back again, and he cons SpongeBob and Patrick once more. Now after he cons SpongeBob and Patrick, he says, "Hey, thanks again guys." This means he remembers the characters from the last time he conned them. Another cool thing you may not have known about this episode is that Gene Simmons from the band Kiss plays the sea monster in the episode. Pretty cool.
Are you sure you don't want to be our first customer, sir?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wait! We'll pay ya.
Hey, thanks again, guys. Good luck with the restaurant.
Thank you, sir. Come again.
It's specially designed to cradle each candy bar in velvet-lined comfort. I'm wasting my time. You don't need these bags.
We need them! We need them!
So long, boys. Happy hunting. Suckers.
Many of our longtime viewers know one of my top 3 favorite SpongeBob episodes is Season 1's Pizza Delivery. In this episode, Mr. Krabs gets a call for a late-night pizza delivery order, and despite the Krusty Krab literally being a burger restaurant and not a pizza place, Mr. Krabs still takes the order and turns some Krabby Patties into a pizza. Now, considering how iconic this episode is, I was not surprised when I caught this little Easter egg in the Season 12 special, SpongeBob's Birthday Blowout, as during the live action scene where Plankton's voiceover artist is thrown out of the trusty slab, a Krusty Krab pizza box can be seen in the pile of garbage. That's pretty cool. I love classic references that reference the Steven Hillenburg era of SpongeBob. It was the best time. Here's a clip.
Mr. Krabs, we don't serve pizza. We don't deliver.
We don't deliver, but you do. Sorry, Potty, you'll have to hold it. Come on.
Easy for you to say, right?
Oh, excuse me, sir. Pardon me.
Oh, that was delicious. I love surface food.
One of the more underrated SpongeBob Season 1 episodes is Culture Shock, an episode all about Squidward organizing a talent show at the Krusty Krab. Near the end of this episode, after loads of terrible acts and performances, it is finally Squidward's turn to perform, and he entertains us with some iconic dance moves. Now, since this episode, Squidward has referenced his groovy moves a few times, but the most notable reference, in my opinion, was in the episode Pat Heart Squid, as when Squidward tries dancing to attract people, at one point, his moves are precisely what he does in Culture Shock, and guess what? In response, the audience throws tomatoes at him, just like they did in that episode. Poor Squidward. Here's a clip.
What the?
I will now bedazzle your dazzlers with interpretive dance.
That's not the worm. That's his tongue.
Oh, this is the tongue, and the whole thing is the worm. Run for your
In the Season 2 episode, Survival of the Idiots, SpongeBob and Patrick overhear a dream Sandy has about fighting two very popular Western criminals, Dirty Dan and Pinhead Larry, and eventually take on both personas as they play cowboys and bandits. Now this eventually results in both Pinhead Larry and Dirty Dan getting their butts absolutely handed to them, like they get their butts kicked and presumably killed, thus giving us these two gravestones with the names Pinhead Larry and Dirty Dan on them. Well, these gravestones are referenced in the episode Shopping List, as both can be seen during this scene, thus making for a heartwarming little Easter egg for all of the longtime fans like myself. Here's a clip with audio.
The first item on Mr. Krabs' list is hair from a Yeti crab?
Well, that hairy hermit dwells right here on this mountaintop.
Okay, SpongeBob, you can be Dirty Dan. I just want to be Patrick.
Let's get out of here before Sandy wakes up again.
Okay, so this next one could possibly be a coincidence, so let me know what your personal opinion is in the comments. We've heard Squidward jam out on his clarinet many times, and in the episode SquidBob Tentacle Plants, we hear him play a very specific tune. Well, this song seems to be referenced 2 seasons later in the episode No Pat for Hat, as when Squidward plays the clarinet, he plays the exact same track he performed in SquidBob Tentacle Pants, thus making for a possible Easter egg. They might have just reused the same clarinet track, but it also could have been a reference. We don't know for sure.
Good morning, Squidward. And isn't it a lovely morning? Why are you playing the clarinet on your way to work?
Imbeciles think that's entertainment? Well, brace yourselves for some true entertainment.
Patrick,
Yeah,
are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, so our last Easter egg is admittedly a bit of a reach, but I always like to include one of these in these Easter egg videos. Plus, it would make sense if this was a reference. Pay attention though, as it's kind of complicated. In the episode Boating Buddies, we get a very rare occurrence, and that is Squidward attending Mrs. Puff's boating school. Throughout the show's 13 seasons, this episode is the only time that this has happened, and it seems that this one-time thing was referenced in the episode Ditching, as at one point, Patrick says that he doesn't need to attend boating school since Squidward calls in sick all the time. Now, considering that Squidward has literally only ever gone to boating school once in the episode Boating Buddies, I'd say that this was a direct reference to the episode. But hey, what do you guys think in the comments?
It's all that I have.
Well, you can have it again right after you complete boating school.
Boating school. Oh, well.
I'll be in boating school at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh, well, can't you just skip a day? Just call in sick. Always works for Squidward.
And tarnish my reputation for never missing one day of school? I couldn't.
Alright, get ready as our first Easter egg is quite the doozy. In the recently aired SpongeBob episode, Captain Pipsqueak, Plankton comes up with the ultimate plan to join the League of Evil, so that he can take over the world and, of course, steal the Krabby Patty secret formula. Well, in order to do this, Plankton has to do an addition. And during this scene, we see numerous villains from previous episodes show up for an addition as well. And boy oh boy does it make for an epic scene full of references. First up is Dennis from the first SpongeBob movie. Then there's this guy, a thug who steals the paddy wagon, also from the first movie, a prisoner from numerous modern SpongeBob episodes, Dr. Negative, Squidward's villain counterpart from the episode Mermaid Pants, really good episode by the way. There's also Madame Hagfish, the Earworm, Robot Mantis, Nosferatu, Gordon the Viking, Dorsal Dan, and my favorites, the Strangler from the episode Tattletale Strangler, and Doodle Bob from the episode Frankendoodle. That is like 12 to 13 references in one scene. Crazy. Here, let's take a look at all of them with audio.
Dude, sign in and wait your turn.
Get out of the car, fellas!
Take all your money and put it in the bed.
No, Mr. Bob, I expect you to fry.
Maybe the full moon
I am the Strangler. I'm the Strangler.
To be or line?
Our first Easter egg can be found in the season 13 episode Uptown Girls, and is based around two characters first introduced in Camp Coral. These two are Ro and Rhea, Lady Upturn's two cabin roommates from, well, Camp Coral. Well, the episode Uptown Girls gives us a little update on what happened to both characters after Camp Coral, via various posters in Lady Upturn's shop, with Ro becoming a clothing model based on this poster, and Rhea becoming the face of a perfume company based on this other poster. Here are some clips.
Welcome to the perfume department.
Whee! I think something done died up in here.
No way, so many shows!
Some of my favorite episodes of SpongeBob are the superhero-themed ones, where we get to see Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy, and even some villains like the Dirty Bubble or Man Ray get into some action. Now in the Season 3 episode, Mermaid Man vs. Barnacle Boy 5, we were introduced to the Chief, the head of the International Justice League of Super Acquaintances. This guy pretty much sends Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy, and the rest of the IJLSA on missions, and though his role was pretty important in earlier seasons, the character has not been seen very often since. Well, that all changed in the episode Swamp Mates, as not only does the Chief make his long-awaited return on the screen in the Mermalair, but he also appears at the end of the episode as well. They even got the same original actor from Season 3, which is like 20 years ago, to reprise his role, thus making the Easter egg even more awesome. Here are a bunch of clips.
Super acquaintances, we need your help.
Holy halibut, it's the Chief.
Thank you for the introduction, Quickster, but we all know who I am. More to the point, we've got news on the whereabouts of Evil. Our sources last saw Evil harassing teenagers up at Makeout Reef. You know, Makeout Reef?
Flop and flounder, Mermaid Man. Make out reef.
Those fiends!
Heroes! It's the Chief! Wonderwell isn't late. She's been kidnapped by the nefarious ne'er-do-well, hoodoo guru, the voodoo villain!
Woohoo! This completes my collection!
One of my favorite SpongeBob characters of all time is Man Ray, one of the many supervillains that Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy have had to deal with over the years. Now back in the episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3, there is a scene in the Mermalair where we're introduced to Man Ray's Power Glove, a weapon of his that was stolen by his superhero foes. However, he steals it back. Now, though this item might feel insignificant, it was actually referenced a few seasons later in the episode Back to the Past, as Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy show SpongeBob and Patrick Man Ray's power glove, which is locked in the Locker of Memories. They then reconfirm that it was once owned by Man Ray, but after freezing him in tartar sauce, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy took it, which is also a reference, as this explains why Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy had it in Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3. A really cool Easter egg. I really like this one. Here's a clip.
We're not supposed to touch that stuff. We're not supposed to touch that either. We are really not supposed to touch those, sir. Good people have no use for weapons such as... Oh! The magic claw from episode 1582! Man Ray's power glove!
Our Easter egg can be found in the episode Gary and Spot, and it references a classic episode from season 2, that being the episode Dumped. In this episode, SpongeBob gets his little heart broken when his pet snail, Gary, wants to spend more time with Patrick than himself. So, to try and make little Gary jealous, SpongeBob gets a new pet snail named Larry, who is not only a lot uglier, but a lot meaner too. Like, this snail just sucks. At one point, SpongeBob lets him sleep in his own bed, and he just ruins his bed. Now, since the episode Dumped, Larry has pretty much disappeared from the series, but he did pop up recently in the form of an Easter egg, as when Gary frees all of the creatures from the animal shelter in the episode Gary and Spot, Larry is one of them, thus making for a fun little callback to the show's second season, one of my favorite seasons. Here's a clip with audio.
Come on, let me show you around. Larry, I present to you dinner time. Ta-da! Bon appetit, Larry. That's where I...
One of my favorite SpongeBob episodes is Season 1's Bubble Stand, where SpongeBob and Patrick do their best to introduce Squidward to blowing bubbles. Squidward really struggles at first, and boy is it hilarious to watch. But the episode's best moment, in my opinion, is when SpongeBob rotates his body to demonstrate and repeats the sentence, "Bring it around town." I mean, come on, if you're a longtime fan, then you know exactly what scene I'm talking about. It's iconic. Well, in the opening of the episode Mimic Madness, this iconic scene is referenced, thus making for a really cool Easter egg. SpongeBob does the exact same thing and even says, "Bring it around town." So yeah, really cool Easter egg. Here's a clip.
Stop on your right foot, don't forget it! Now it's time to bring it around town. Bring it around town. Then you do this.
Okay, so this next one is very interesting, as it was either the art team being lazy or a really cool little reference to one of my favorite classic episodes, Grandma's Kisses. In this episode, we get numerous shots of Grandma SquarePants' house, and in the kitchen, we can see this bowl with 3 balls of food in it. I have no idea what the food is, but this is what I'm talking about here. Well, multiple seasons later, years later, in the episode Blackjack, we visit Grandma SquarePants' house again. And look, the exact same bowl and food appears again, potentially referencing Grandma's Kisses. I mean, I highly doubt that Grandma SquarePants left the same food out for 5 years. That would be pretty gross, so this was probably a reference. Here's a clip.
Hi, Grandma!
Come in and sit for a while. Have a cookie, SpongeBob. I baked a fresh batch of gingerbread men.
But where's Blackjack?
Oh, Blackjack just called and left a message for you. He couldn't make it because he's got some loose ends to tie up.
Loose ends? My parents! He's tied them up?
And if you don't hurry, you'll miss out on all the fun.
Our last Easter egg can be found in the episode Boating Buddies. In this episode, instead of a typical SpongeBob boating school episode, is all about Squidward attending boating school after getting a ticket. As you can imagine, this was all SpongeBob's fault, of course. But luckily for him, SpongeBob decides to help out, eventually leading us to this scene where Squidward does his driving exam. For a few frames, the rare incidental character Granny appears, thus making her first appearance since her debut episode, Have You Seen This Snail?
Just let go of it!
Hooligans!
There you are, Miss Tuftsy. Oh, Grandma finally found you.
As most of you know, Squidward is an artist, so it's no surprise that one of his old paintings is referenced in Season 6. The painting in particular are his 483 self-portraits first seen in the episode Gone, and they appear when SpongeBob is having tea with Squidward in the episode Not Normal. Another reference can be found as SpongeBob and Patrick are belly sliding through town. As they go off a ramped truck, Oyster Stadium can be seen for the first time in a while as they are falling. Here's a clip of both references or Easter eggs with audio.
I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but please come in, SpongeBob.
Thank you. Tell me, what are you doing cooped up in here when the weather outside is so normal?
Well, today is dusting day, the day I dust my 483 self-portraits.
Wow, that's something you don't see in the average house. Squidward! Have you seen Gary? He's gone missing! Squidward? Not a sign of Squidward anywhere. Squidward? You up here?
Mommy, what are those things?
Those are undesirables, honey.
The character, Flats the Flounder, made multiple appearances in early seasons of SpongeBob. For example, Sandy's Rocket, Texas, but most notably The Bully, where he plays a major role, where he pretty much wants to kick SpongeBob's butt throughout the entire episode, just for sitting beside him and saying, "Hey, poor SpongeBob." Now, since The Bully, he hasn't had very many appearances. He has appeared a few times, but it has been fairly limited. That was until the episode Don't Feed the Clowns, as he's actually a customer of the bakery who gets knocked out by getting hit with a pie thrown by Incidental C1. Talk about a cool reference. It's nice to see Flats the Flounder back in action again, especially in a more recent episode. Now, I'm going to show a clip of this Easter egg with audio, but before I do, I just want to say thank you to everybody who took the time to watch this video. Seriously, shout out to the Grapple Gang. I'm Cartoon Corey, and I'll see you guys again soon. Oh, and if you're new, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be responding to the comments of all subscribers on this video. It actually shows me if you're subscribed or not. So comment and I'll respond if you're subscribed. Anyways though, I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the clips.
Flats is from a town where kicking someone's butt means that he wants to be your friend. And maybe play some sports with you on weekends.
I got diarrhea.
Now, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems that Nickelodeon really turned up the Easter eggs in Season 12, as there are so many. One episode that comes to mind is Lighthouse Louie. In this episode, SpongeBob finds himself stuck cleaning Mrs. Puff's boating school lighthouse, which is full of a bunch of junk seen over the years throughout the show's history. Now during this scene, where SpongeBob falls into a pile of trash, we get a close-up look at one of these pieces of junk. I'm talking about this familiar-looking pizza box that I'm sure all of you recognize. That's right, this is yet another reference to one of my all-time favorite SpongeBob episodes, Season 1's Pizza Delivery. You know, I've always wondered if the Krusty Krab is still serving pizza, and hey, this pretty much confirms it. Here's a question though. Which toppings would you get on your Krusty Krab pizza? Let me know in the comments. Anyways though, here's a clip of the Easter egg.
That box is haunted! Fine, these stairs are haunted! This trash is haunted!
Krusty Krab, yeah, pizza is the pizza, yeah, for you and me.
Okay, and last but not least, our final Easter egg, or secret, can be found in the episode Patrick's Alley, which I will admit is a bit of a cheat since it's from the Patrick Star Show and not SpongeBob, but who cares, it's still really cool. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of SpongeBob incidental characters, so I was pleasantly surprised when I seen Incidental 98 pop up in Patrick's Alley. This extremely rare incidental is known for his blue shirt with a heart on it, and he hasn't made an appearance since Season 2. There aren't a whole lot of images of him, but this was definitely a really neat return of a highly requested incidental. Everyone wanted to see this guy back, so it's really cool. Now, I'm going to show a clip of this with audio, but before I do, I just want to say to the Grapple Gang, thank you so much for watching, guys, and thank you so much for all of the support. We hit 400k thanks to you guys, and we're continuing to grow. It's awesome, seriously. By the way, if you're new to the channel, make sure to comment, as I'm going to be responding to the comments of all subscribers on this video. So if you're subscribed and you comment, YouTube will show me you're subscribed, and I'll respond for sure. So yeah, put your comments in, guys. Here's those clips. I'm Cartoon Corey, and I'll see you guys again soon. Stay awesome.
Patrick! Too old! Throw it back!
Our first Easter egg can be found in the Season 13 episode Upturned Girls. I know we've covered it a lot recently, but this Easter egg is really cool and new, but it is a little complicated, so pay attention. In the episode Squeaky Boots, it's Pearl's birthday, so we learn about flipper slippers, new shoes that are a bit of a fad amongst teenagers, and seem to be especially popular with young girls. Pearl wanted these for her birthday, she doesn't get them, but all of her friends wear them, and we know that Pearl really likes these and really likes shoes. Well, it seems that these shoes are referenced in the episode Upturned Girls, as when Pearl and Narlene enter the shoe area, there is a poster on the wall for what seems to be new, updated, or evolved versions of the shoes. I know this for sure because at one angle, we can see at the bottom that the shoes are by Flipper, and like I said, the shoes that they're referencing are called Flipper Slippers. So definitely a really cool Easter egg here. Whoever wrote this episode, this is a really cool one. Here's a clip.
What is it, Daddy? It wouldn't be those totally hip new flipper slippers all my friends are wearing, would it? Everyone wants them.
It might be.
Don't forget my new flipper slippers, Daddy.
Darling, I won't.
Attention, Upturned shoppers. There's a sale in the shoe department, 10th floor.
No way, so many shoes!
Back in the Season 3 episode, Wet Painters, SpongeBob and Patrick are roped into painting and cleaning good old Mr. Krabs' house. However, there's one important condition. They can absolutely not get any paint or dirt on Mr. Krabs' most prized item, his very first ever dollar. Well, plot twist, they do end up getting some paint on it. And from here, the episode focuses on this dilemma, with SpongeBob and Patrick panicking to get the dollar clean. Now since then, Mr. Krabs' first dollar has made a few cameos, but my favorite is in the episode Whale Watching. It happens fast, but as you can see right here, the dollar is one of the many things destroyed by Pearl's explosive crying. Very, very cool. Here's a clip of the Easter egg with audio.
We're dead, Patrick. Do you know what that is?
It's $1! I win!
That's not just $1. It's Mr. Krabs' first dollar, his most prized possession, and we got paint on it.
Daddy, I want to go to the party!
Oh, shrimp.
And last, but certainly not least, our final Easter egg can be found in the episode SpongeBob's Last Stand. But for it to actually make sense, we have to go back to the episode Chum Bucket Supreme. In this episode, Plankton hires on Patrick as an advertising director. I don't know why he picked Patrick, but he hires him on to do the advertising for the Chum Bucket. And Patrick comes up with this slogan, Chum is Fum, as a way to give the Chum Bucket some identity, I guess. Well, this is directly referenced a few seasons later in the episode SpongeBob's Last Stand, as the Chum Bucket slogan, Chum is Fum, is seen on a billboard. Again, another really cool Easter egg.
Jellyfish fields a chance. Plankton's high, ham on rye, Larry's thigh, battle cry.
You're supposed to be coming up with witty catchphrases to keep that rabble out there happy. Chum is Fum. We've kind of got that one already.
Oh, I like that one!
Oh well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Okay, so this next one is a bit of a deep cut, so get ready, as what the episode references is very subtle. I didn't even realize it at first. In the episode Ghost Host, the Flying Dutchman realizes that he's lost his scary mojo. So to try and sharpen his skills, he tries to scare both SpongeBob and Squidward. It doesn't go very well, but during one of his attempts to scare SpongeBob, he transforms into this big red bug thing. And honestly, since this episode, we haven't really seen it since, but it seems that this exact transformation is referenced in the episode Ink Lemonade. As during this scene, where Squidward first enters the creepy nursery, there is a picture of this exact same big red bug that the Flying Dutchman turned into on the wall, thus making for, like I said, a really deep cut in terms of Easter eggs. Like, the Flying Dutchman transforms 50 plus times in Ghost Host, so it's interesting that they chose this one to reference in particular. But anyways, here's a clip with audio.
Not creepy nursery rhyme music!
SpongeBob has many villains, for example, the often misunderstood Plankton. But the best villains are the supervillains, seen in the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes. For example, the Dirty Bubble. But one that is usually forgotten is Jumbo Shrimp. Well, in the Patrick Star Show episode, X Marks the Pot, he makes a small cameo, with him being seen all beaten up in a mugshot. Now, by the way, I will say, this section was actually written before Captain Pipsqueak came out, so I know that he has a major role in that episode, but before that episode, this was one of his biggest cameos. So yeah, an Easter egg. Here's a clip.
I want to take your picture. Would you care to peruse my portfolio?
Oh, I'd love to. Would you look at that? Isn't it cute? Oh my, so artistic, girl. Oh, you simply must take a portrait of my whole family.
In the iconic Season 2 episode Sailor Mouth, SpongeBob and Patrick learn some new, spicy, sentence-enhancing swear words from a dumpster outside of the Krusty Krab. And though they're told by Mr. Krabs not to use these bad words, which none of you should use either, by the way, they eventually ignore the old man and get themselves into some trouble. Well, Patrick gets SpongeBob into trouble when he goes to snitch on him. Before all of this happens, though, we're given this iconic scene. Like, this scene is iconic, where SpongeBob and Patrick play a board game called Eels and Escalators, a parody of the classic game Snakes and Ladders, and it makes for a really funny scene. Well, 10 seasons later, in the episode Bubble Bass's Tab, I think it's a season 12 episode, this board game, Eels and Escalators, is referenced, with it appearing on SpongeBob's internal shelf of games. As you guys know, I'm a major fan of the Steven Hillenburg era of SpongeBob, so I loved this little nod.
Now, let's play a nice wholesome game of Eels and Escalators.
Oh boy, my favorite!
Come on, Gary needs a new pair of shoes!
Ooh, eels! Too bad, SpongeBob, you gotta ride the eel.
Darn.
My turn! Hooray! Escalators! Up, up, up!
You'll have to play the 3 deadly challenges.
Oh, the 3 deadly challenges! I got this game! Where is it? Game of Strife, Shoots and Bladders. Oh, here it is! Ah! The 3 deadly challenges!
Board game. Whoopee.
Another classic SpongeBob episode that I loved as a kid was Season 2's Sandy, SpongeBob, and the Worm. This episode was pretty darn epic, with SpongeBob and Sandy teaming up and going on an adventure to find the Alaskan bullworm that has been terrorizing Bikini Bottom. Now in the end, they succeed and manage to lunge the thing off of a cliff, and for a while, it seemed like this would be the last we'd see of the Alaskan bullworm. That is, until the episode My Leg, as during the montage where SpongeBob is trying to purposefully damage Fred's leg, Fred sprinkles salt over his leg, then SpongeBob rings a bell, and the Alaskan bullworm slithers over to Fred. Pretty cool, huh? Here's a clip. The next episode we'll be talking about today actually features 2 Easter eggs, so let's just skip the plot summary and get right to the good stuff. The first is a SpongeBob's Last Stand reference, with this Save the Jellyfish sign being shown in the pile of rubble. Another reference is this ukulele, as it's most likely a reference to the ukulele used by SpongeBob in the episode Fun, which is another reference to an older SpongeBob episode. I love those. Here's a clip.
Chum bucket, sludge bucket, highway fly away. Lily liver, pizza giver, mashed potato, kelp tomato. All we are trying to say is give jellyfish eels a chance.
I can't take it much longer! I hope he's not in any pain, wherever he is.
I think he's doing just fine.
Mr. Krabs, you gotta get up! We gotta get out of here!
Oh,
Okay, T-Boy, I think I'm good.
Remember to drink plenty of fluids.
Look, SpongeBob, you see all this stuff?
We've seen plenty of board games in the SpongeBob universe, whether it's Sailor Mouths, Eels in Escalators, or Patrick the Game from Season 9. But one of my favorites is the Flying Dutchman's Treasure Hunt from the Season 1 episode, Arg. This game nearly drives Mr. Krabs insane, with him eventually taking things way too seriously, and using the game's map for a treasure hunt. To be fair, Mr. Krabs' plan does actually work, and they eventually find the treasure by the end of the episode, despite using a map from a board game. But this was the last we'd see of the board game for a little while. That was until the Season 6 episode, Toy Store of Doom, as at one point, SpongeBob takes the Flying Dutchman's Treasure Hunt board game out of a chest, and asks Patrick if he wants to play it, only for him to decline it like everything else SpongeBob suggests. Pretty cool, huh? Really cool. I love Easter eggs like this. Here's a clip.
Look, Patrick, 8 gold doubloons.
Wait, I saw it first! Yeah! Mine! Huh?
Boy, Mr. Krabs, you sure are sweaty.
What's this? Where are the doubloons?
It's a game! The Flying Dutchman's Treasure Hunt.
Looks like you've shanghaied me.
My turn. 5. One of your shipmates has been a bad pirate. Send him to the brig.
I guess we could play something. How about a yo?
No.
Yo. Buried treasure board game?
No.
Now our last Easter egg is a bit of a reach, I'll be honest, but hear me out, okay? In the episode Squeaky Boots, Mr. Krabs begins to freak out when he can't escape the sound of, well, squeaking. This drives our favorite crab crazy, and gives us this scene where Mr. Krabs turns blue and begins to hear and see the word squeak everywhere. He has a total meltdown. Well, this scene seems to be directly referenced in the episode Plankton's Paranoia, with this scene even using the exact same music, just this time, instead of Mr. Krabs freaking out about hearing or seeing the word squeaks, he's tripping out over Plankton. Again, a bit of a reach with this one, but it uses the same music.
What's that? I didn't write that! Who said that? What's that?
Our next Easter egg, or well, I guess Easter eggs, are hidden in the fairly recent Season 13 episode, Say Ah. Now there have been hundreds of incidentals introduced over the years, and this can sometimes result in older ones being discontinued. But fortunately for us longtime fans, the episode Say Ah brings a total of 3 discontinued incidentals back, for the first time in like 20 to 22 years. First up is Incidental 62, who makes their first appearance since the Season 3 episode, New Student Starfish. There is also Incidental 66, who was last seen in the Season 1 episode, Fools in April. Oh, and finally, Incidental 71, who hasn't been seen since Season 2's Patty Hype. Pretty cool, huh? Here's a clip.
It is after class!
Fight! 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 I don't see anyone fighting, do you?
April Fools, you little sausage!
Pretty Patties is now under new management. Who's next?
One of my favorite SpongeBob episodes is Season 3's Just One Bite. In this episode, Squidward tastes his very first Krabby Patty, and though he lies and claims to hate them at first, by the end of the episode, we find out the truth. SpongeBob reveals that there is a patty vault hidden in the Krusty Krab that contains hundreds of Krabby Patties. And in the ending scene, we see Squidward break into this place to get his fix. Now, aside from this episode, we haven't really seen the Patty Vault since. However, it does appear in the episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 6 in the form of an Easter egg. It's only on screen for a short amount of time, but it can be found during this scene. Yeah, here's a clip.
There it is. Holy shrimp! I don't know where to start. But all that matters is that it's just you and me and nobody.
Squidward? Is that you? Blocks, home to over 5 billion Krabby Patties. What evil mastermind would dare infiltrate this fortified fort and make off with its treasure? It is I, Kelp Thing. Do what I do.
Stop! You can't do that. Forbidden!
Our next mistake can be found in the episode Suction Cup Symphony. This episode is all about Squidward writing his very own symphony. Now, during this scene, just as Squidward finally finishes writing his song, he has the same look on his face that he had in the episode Squid's Day Off, during the scene where he locked himself inside his house. Oh, also, it isn't necessarily an Easter egg, I guess, but the fish playing the piano in this episode is actually the same fish that SpongeBob sits next to at Reef Cinema in the episode Something Smells.
I did it. Mwah! Yes! There. Now I'll have to stay here and enjoy myself. I'm not even gonna think about you-know-who at the you-know-what doing I don't care.
Hi. I am very ugly, but you should enjoy the movie anyway.
The episode, Appointment TV, has been covered many times on this channel, and that is due to it being full of Easter eggs. Like seriously, there is a good 5 to 10 Easter eggs in this episode, but today we're just going to focus on one. Back in the Season 3 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5, SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Sandy, and Mermaid Man dress up as the IJSLA, and Sandy dresses up as Miss Appear and wears this costume. Well, she wears the exact same costume 8 seasons later in Appointment TV, thus making for an awesome callback or Easter egg. Here's a clip.
The IJLSA were the most heroic heroes ever. And you had the best lunchbox, too.
Once you put on these costumes, their fantastic powers will become yours.
And Miss Appear! Now you see her. Now you don't.
Does this outfit make me look fat?
The International Justice League of Super Acquaintances, a subsidiary of Viacom.
Thank you, everyone. I love the show.
The episode SpongeBob's Last Stand is all about SpongeBob and Patrick protesting the demolition of their favorite Bikini Bottom location, Jellyfish Fields. Now, at one point, we see a parade celebrating the construction of the Shelly Superhighway. And if you're a true SpongeBob fan, you'll notice that the band of the parade is wearing the exact same outfits as Squidward's band in Band Geeks, thus making for another interesting little Easter egg. I love these season 1, 2, or 3 callbacks. They're the best. Here's a clip.
They couldn't come. They died. Then who's that? Ah, that would be my band!
We're ready to perform, Squidward.
Well, Squiddy, this is exactly how I pictured your band would look. That's his eager face.
Our first Easter egg revolves around some familiar fish we've seen before. In the Season 6 episode, Krabby Road, Plankton creates an entire band just to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula. Now, it's a good episode, with some great moments. And if we watch closely during the episode's opening, we can spot an interesting Season 3 Easter egg. In the episode, No Weenies Allowed, SpongeBob struggles to get into a new bar called the Salty Spittoon, due to it only accepting the toughest of the toughest fish. SpongeBob is forced to wait in line with some of these tough fish, but this isn't the last time we've seen them. In the opening of the Season 6 episode Krabby Road, they make their return, thus making for a fun little Season 3 reference. They're in jail now, so I wonder what they did, but yeah, here's a clip.
You need to have muscles. You need to have muscles on your muscles. You need to have muscles on your eyeballs.
Ew.
Looks like a rip-snorting good time, SpongeBob.
Yeah, let's go in.
And this is the maximum security level. Since this is your first day, I'll let you peek at our #1 inmate. He's too dangerous to let him around the other inmates.
As a lot of our longtime viewers know, Season 1's Pizza Delivery is one of my all-time favorite episodes, with it being all about SpongeBob and Squidward going on a little pizza delivery adventure, and doing everything they can to get this box of pizza to its destination. Now, I don't know if the Krusty Krab still serves pizza to this day, but it is possible, considering that a Krusty Krab pizza box did pop up in a recent episode as an Easter egg. It's easy to miss, but in the episode Plankton Gets the Boot, a Krusty Krab pizza can be seen in SpongeBob's house, when he and Plankton are watching a movie in the living room. Pretty cool, huh? Now, you probably can notice there are a bunch of other Easter eggs in the shot, but I'm gonna leave you guys to find them, so leave a comment. What other Easter eggs are in this shot? Anyways though, here's that clip.
Ahoy there, Krusty Krab, how can I help you? Pizza? Of course we have pizza. Squid will bring it right over.
Mr. Krabs, we don't serve pizza.
Many unbearable hours later.
Oh, my love. What a fool I've been. You've always been the only one for me.
Our first Easter egg can be found in the episode Whelk Attack, and it's pretty cool, as it references one of my favorite older SpongeBob episodes, Suds. In this episode, a herd of large sea whelks invade Bikini Bottom, causing all sorts of problems. Why are they invading, you may ask? Well, it turns out that the whelks are sick, as explained by Sandy near the end of the episode. Now, during this scene, SpongeBob compares the whelks' sickness to Suds, the same illness SpongeBob had to deal with all the way back in the Season 1 episode titled, well, Suds. This is a really cool Easter egg. Here's a clip.
Well, golly! No wonder they're all grumpy. Them whelks are full of germs. Why, they're sicker than a bull with the squirrel pox.
I know just what to do. After all, I've had the suds. I just have to absorb the whelk snot, and they'll return to normal.
What's wrong with you? You're paler than a baby seahorse. The suds?
Here's that patty you wanted, Mr. Krabs, sir.
All right, SpongeBob, you're too sick to work.
No, Mr. Krabs, I'm okay. Honest.
Sheldon Plankton is quite the inventor, with the innocent yet evil little guy creating all sorts of gadgets, weapons, and robots that are all usually used for one-off appearances in episodes. But there has been one invention of his that has popped up multiple times, and that's Robot Plankton. Making his first appearance in the second SpongeBob movie, the robot has appeared twice, with the most recent appearance being in the episode Plankton Retires. The design is pretty much identical, so I would personally say that this was an intentional Easter egg by the art team. Who knows though? Here's a clip.
Me bunions are telling me it's time to stop gloating. Huh? Looks like you're falling apart at the seams. Huh?
For me, sub, a robot! Victory dance, booyah.
How would you be doing that when you're all the way over here in Dullsville,
Because I'm a decoy look-alike robot! Gotcha!
So what I miss?
As I just mentioned, SpongeBob Season 12 is absolutely filled to the brim with Easter eggs, and the episode Dream Hoppers is no exception. This is a bit of a different type of Easter egg though, as it isn't referencing an older episode, object, or character, but something from the show's history, something very important. Now, true SpongeBob fans already know this, but back before SpongeBob first aired in the late 90s, the show was originally going to be called SpongeBoy instead of SpongeBob, and his design was a little bit different. Well, during this scene, where we see a few flashing images on a TV, an image of SpongeBoy is visible for a split second, thus giving us a nostalgic callback to the show's origins. Really cool, and here's a clip.
SpongeBoy, ahoy!
So back in the Season 1 episode, The Chaperone, it is time for the annual Bikini Bottom High School prom, and Pearl is very excited to be taken out by her crush and date, and I believe it's even her boyfriend at the time, Octavius Rex, aka Mr. Long, Tan, and Handsome. However, this meanie ends up standing up Pearl, thus resulting in her going with SpongeBob instead, a much better date in my opinion anyways. Don't worry though, Pearl gets her revenge later on in the episode, when she rejects Octavius's offer to dance and chooses to dance with SpongeBob instead. Now since this episode, Octavius has pretty much gone missing from the series, but this all changed in the episode The Goofy Newbie, as during this scene, he makes his return, with it being revealed that he now works at Goofy Goobers and hasn't really accomplished much in his life since. But hey, that's what he deserves for standing up our girl Pearl. Here's a clip.
Look ridiculous!
What is it?
Get down, Yes! It's my ex-boyfriend, Octavius Rex, a.k.a. Long, Tan, and Handsome.
Meep.
Whoa.
Get Ma's pizza topping! Can't you see I'm doing the sponge?
Yeah, but the rule is only on the first break. And for lunch. And on the second break. And for dinner.
Wow! Ice cream all day!
One of the more iconic characters in SpongeBob history is Squilliam Fancyson, a rude, arrogant, and disrespectful squid who is Squidward's longtime rival since high school. He made numerous appearances in the show's first few seasons, always teasing or bullying Squidward, but since season 4, his appearances have become very limited, like we rarely see this snobby squid anymore. Well, in the season 10 episode, The Checkup, he finally makes his return to the series, in the form of an Easter egg, as he's in one of the many photos framed on the X-ray photo booth. Hopefully he can make a physical appearance soon, maybe in season 13 or 14, that'd be pretty cool. But for now, this was an awesome little cameo.
What are you doing here? I just wanted to watch you blow it. So, where's your band? They couldn't come. They died. Then who's that? That would be my band! Oh, Shrimp! It's my arch rival from high school, Squilliam Fancyson! I can't let him see me in my crusty crab uniform. On your lunch break, Squiddy? Yes, hey, what you been up to?
Well, I am very photogenic. Let's see. How do you start this thing? Oh, here we go. It's kinda hot in here.
In the episode Wet Painters, SpongeBob and Patrick are tasked by Mr. Krabs to clean the inside, or well, paint the inside of Mr. Krabs' house, at the cost of their behinds if anything other than the wall gets painted on. Well, spoiler alert, something other than the wall does get painted on, and that's Mr. Krabs' iconic first ever dollar. Now in the end, everything works out when we find out that the paint can just be removed with a little bit of saliva. Plot twist. But after this episode, Mr. Krabs' first dollar has kind of gone missing. We haven't really seen it since. It has appeared a few times, but not much. That is, until the episode Bottle Burglars. As in this episode, the dollar is one of the objects that SpongeBob cleans on cleaning day. He actually ruins it. He scrubs it so hard that it turns into a quarter and then a penny before it completely disappears. But don't worry, SpongeBob just replaces it with a random $1 bill from his pocket, and Mr. Krabs never even notices. But talk about a cool Easter egg. Here's a clip of the Easter egg with audio.
And without getting a drop of paint on anything but the flappin' flotsam, what's that? We're dead, Patrick. Do you know what that is? Aw, Mr. Krabs' first dollar. How many what?
Don't forget to clean the safe, boys.
Something absolutely terrible happens in the season 4 episode, All That Glitters. SpongeBob breaks his favorite spatula. And as you can imagine, this really ruins SpongeBob's day. Don't worry though, at the very end of the episode, we get this hilarious scene of SpongeBob being reunited with his old friend, and the episode ends with everything back to normal. Now the Easter egg in question can be found during this scene, and has to do with everyone's favorite incidental, Fred. If you're a true SpongeBob fan, you'll know that this isn't the first time we've seen Fred in this outfit, as it's actually a reference to the outfit he wears in the classic Season 3 episode, One Crab's Trash. Here's a clip.
I would give serious consideration to a replacement spatula.
Oh!
No. Touchy the lace spatula. It's very, very expensive.
I'm sorry.
Of course, if you purchase this fine item, you may hold it.
Sir, I'll give you $1 million for that hat.
In the SpongeBob SquarePants movie from 2004, we were introduced to Princess Mindy, the daughter of the almighty King Neptune, who does her very best to help SpongeBob and Patrick throughout the movie. Now, despite being such a well-known character, we haven't really seen Mindy for quite some time, but she did recently make a reappearance in the form of an Easter egg in the season 13 episode Potato Puff. Like I said, it happens fast, but look, Mindy can be seen as a painting on the wall of a nursery, thus making for an awesome little Easter egg.
Listen, you guys, the road to Shell City is really dangerous. There's crooks, killers, and monsters everywhere. And what's worse, there's a giant cyclops who guards the outskirts of the city and preys on innocent sea creatures. Here, take this.
What's in here?
It's a magical bag of winds. I stole them from my father.
You're hot.
One of the more heartwarming SpongeBob episodes is Season 12's SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout, an episode dedicated to the late, great Steven Hillenburg, but also an episode that celebrates the show's history. In other words, the episode is full of cool Easter eggs, so much so that it would take forever to fit all of them into this video. So for now, let's just focus on one. In the episode, I Had an Accident, SpongeBob becomes depressed after a sandboarding accident and begins to just hide in his room all the time, refusing to leave. Now, to combat this, at one point, Sandy gets Patrick to attack her while wearing an ape suit, in the hopes of luring SpongeBob out of his house. And this is actually directly referenced in SpongeBob's big birthday blowout, as during the meeting scene, we can see these ape masks directly referencing Patrick dressing up as an ape in I Had an Accident. Talk about an awesome Easter egg that references my favorite era, the Steven Hillenburg era of SpongeBob.
Hey, Sandy, who's your friend?
But you're supposed to be in the gorilla suit.
I am in the gorilla suit. I thought I was doing a pretty good job.
Then who's that? A real gorilla?
Huh?
Let's watch their strange rituals.
He's coming!
The season 10 episode, SpongeBob's Place, has a good plot, but I think the biggest thing this episode is known for is all of the wild Easter eggs. Now, I'm not going to cover this scene, which has like 8+ Easter eggs all in one shot, like holy cow, as we've covered it quite a few times already, but I did find another one, and it's spicy. Remember the Nasty Patty that SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs prepared in the season 3 episode of the same name? Yeah, well, it appears again for the first time in a long time during this scene. There are some slight differences, but this was definitely a throwback to season 3, and I absolutely adore it. Here's a clip.
Why, that's the most diabolical Krabby Patty ever spawned.
I call it the Nasty Patty.
Hey, hurry up with that patty.
Here you are, sir, enjoy.
Ah, hello, delicious.
I see the problem! SpongeBob's not in the kitchen!
I don't know why, but it's bad.
Back in the season 2 episode, I'm with Stupid, we learned a little bit about Patrick Star's family, more specifically Herb and Margie, two people that were revealed to be Patrick's biological parents, his mother and father. Now, since this iconic episode, I love I'm with Stupid, by the way, really good episode, both characters have been retconned and replaced by Bunny and Sissel via the Patrick Star Show. But let's just forget about that for a second. Let's just forget that even happened. Now, as I said, back in the early days of the show, Herb and Margie were Patrick's parents, with their only appearance being at the ending of I'm with Stupid. However, this all changed in the episode Rule of Dumb, as during this scene, we get the reappearance of both Herb and Margie after years of being absent, thus making for a really cool reference to season 2. Hey, I wonder if these two will ever reappear again. Maybe they could make it so the Patrick Star Show takes place in an alternate timeline. They did it for Camp Coral with Sandy, so I don't know. Anyways, here's a clip.
What I hold in my hands is a family tree that goes back centuries. It starts with the marriage of King Amoeba and Queen Mildew. Then, through a few inbred generations, ends at you, Sir Patrick.
We have seen many superheroes and supervillains throughout SpongeBob, mainly due to there being so many Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes. I love them, some of my favorite episodes. A lot of them have stuck around, for example the Dirty Bubble or Man Ray, but there have been a lot that have just disappeared. One often forgotten supervillain is the evil Jumbo Shrimp, who made his first appearance in Season 1's Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2. Since his debut, he's made a few more appearances, but they've been far and few apart. That is, until the season 11 episode, Squid Noir, as Jumbo Shrimp appears as a poster and an action figure in near mint comic books. And the suburban dad figurine throws the action figure at Mermaid Man's action figure during their fight. It's pretty cool. Here's a clip with audio.
Fighting a rogue cavalry of villains, like the Sinister Slug, the Atomic Flounder, and the dreaded Jumbo Shrimp.
I'm so glad you could make it.
I wouldn't miss this for the world, Dirty.
The most powerful of all crustaceans. It's Jumbo Shrimp.
So I will admit, this last one could be a coincidence, so let me know what you think personally in the comments. But yeah, I'm like 90% sure this is an Easter egg, but let's get into it. In the episode, The Inside Job, there is a scene where SpongeBob uses dish cleaning items to make a Krabby Patty. And in response, Plankton asks if soap is the special sauce. Well, this exact interaction seems to be referenced in the season 12 episode Cookie Cooks, as at one point, SpongeBob adds soap to some salads, while saying that he can't forget the special sauce. Again, this one could be a coincidence, but it does seem like an Easter egg if you ask me.
Oh, now where are those patties? Oh, no, nuh-uh. No, there you are, Patty. Add one fluffy bun, like so, and a squirt of special sauce.
Special sauce. Wait, soap is their special sauce?
How's this? Oops! Can't forget the salad dressing.
In the episode, Nasty Patty, another classic SpongeBob episode, this episode is a banger, SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs are confronted by a health inspector who wants to try everything on the menu to see if everything is up to the health code. This guy's name is Health Inspector Yellowtail Andy. And to be honest, we haven't seen him much since this episode. He has appeared a few other times, but he's usually a different color. But recently, in the episode A Place for Pets in season 13, he made a big return, and he looks how he used to look, the way he looks in Nasty Patty. This was a really cool reference, and it's awesome to see such an iconic character return to the show, even though it was a fairly minor cameo. But anyways, here's a clip of both appearances with audio.
Try the crunchy kelp dog, sir.
The buttered barnacles are a touch of heaven.
The powdered driftwood is exquisite.
Fresh sludge pudding.
More diet red tie.
Some fried
Please, gentlemen.
Oh no! The health inspector!
Oh yes, the health inspector. And I'm afraid you can't run a restaurant and a feedlot out of the same building. It's unsanitary.
Back in the classic episode, Chocolate with Nuts, SpongeBob and Patrick struggle with their newly founded door-to-door chocolate bar business. That is, until they come across this Barnacle Chips billboard, which inspires them to be a little more business savvy. Well, it actually inspires them to start lying to people, but yeah. Well, as crazy as it sounds, this billboard has popped up quite a few times over the years as an Easter egg, with its most recent appearance being in the episode Teacher's Pests. Don't get me wrong, this is totally a really cool Easter egg, but I do find it funny that it's just a simple billboard. Nonetheless, I love classic references like these, so I hope to see it again in the future.
There must be something to this selling game that we're just not getting. Other people do it, I mean, look at that.
Eat barnacle chips, they're delicious.
They are most certainly not delicious, yet they sell millions of bags a day.
Well, maybe if they didn't stretch the truth, they wouldn't sell as many.
That's it, Patrick.
Okay, so I know we already talked about this episode today, but let's head back over to Captain Pipsqueak for a second. Now, when we first mentioned this episode, I went over all of its cool references to past episodes, but I did leave one out, and this is due to it not being from a SpongeBob episode, but from a SpongeBob video game. And that's this blue little dude known as Prawn. Prawn made his first appearance in the SpongeBob video game, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Really good game that I'm actually going to be streaming on the channel soon. But yeah, it's really cool to see Prawn make his way over to the actual TV show. I wonder though, does this mean that SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom is now canon? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm curious.
Prawn!
Did someone call? Oh, I thought maybe I was looking at superheroes. But now I see it's just a couple of pieces of gnarled driftwood.
Prawn! I'll never forgive you, you madman!
What did Prawn do?
The worst thing you can imagine. He put all of Mermaid Man's white clothes in the washer with a red sock.
Everything I own turned pink! Pink!
What is this?
The next Easter egg on this list comes from the Season 5 episode, To Love a Patty. This episode focuses on SpongeBob falling in love with a Krabby Patty. SpongeBob is so in love with this Krabby Patty that he saves the burger from being eaten. But take a look at the person who is about to eat the Krabby Patty. Does he look familiar to you? Well, if you're a true SpongeBob veteran, he should. This is the same fish who briefly appears in the episodes Shanghai and Krabbyland. In Shanghai, the fish is seen through the Flying Dutchman's telescope, and in Krabbyland, he is one of the fish who help SpongeBob stall the kids. Here's a clip of the Easter egg with audio.
Where's my Krabby Patty?
I'm here, Muzzle Boy.
It's about time.
Let's see who we can find. Captain, there's a guy we can scare.
I had 4 biscuits and I ate 1.
So who here is familiar with this character? This character is named Granny, and she along with Miss Grusselpuss are both pretty rare in terms of incidentals. They don't show up very often. Well, they make a slight cameo in the episode Grandma's Secret Recipe, as both characters appear while SpongeBob and Great Grandma are knitting. This isn't necessarily the most mind-blowing Easter egg or cameo, I'll admit, but hey, it's pretty cool.
What I meant to say was, more please.
Knitting circles sure are fun, eh, Grammy Ma?
Nope.
Why are you not having fun?
Why? Because I don't knit, you nitwit.
Are you sure? 'Cause you make a real nice scarf.
Okay, this next one is a bit of a deep cut, so listen closely. In the episode Funny Pants, SpongeBob learns that he can no longer talk due to losing his laugh box. So in one scene, he fantasizes about a machine that will laugh for him since he can't laugh anymore. This thing pretty much generates a robot laugh, and it seems to creep Patrick and Sandy out, with them walking away awkwardly. It's really funny. Well, this exact same machine was referenced 2 seasons later in the episode Suction Cup Symphony, with the machine that Patrick is in during this scene looking exactly like the laughing machine I just mentioned. Hey, it could have just been the animators being lazy and reusing the same machine, but I do think this was a cool little Easter egg. But hey, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below.
Hey, Patrick, you want to hear a joke?
Sure, Sandy.
Sure, I'd love a good laugh.
What has 4 wheels and flies? A garbage truck.
Our next Easter egg can be found in the season 13 episode, Upturned Girls. And trust me, I know, we've covered or talked about this episode a lot of times this year, but it's due to the episode having a ton of cameos and references. But guess what? I found another one. Back in season 5, we were introduced to the original fry cook, Jim, of course in the episode The Original Fry Cook, who, due to his celebrity status, shows up to the Krusty Krab in this unique all-gold limousine. This guy is like rich. He's just styling and profiling. Now, since season 5, we haven't seen Jim very much. However, he is definitely still out there, as his limo actually appears in season 13's Upturned Girls, with it appearing outside of Lady Upturned's shop. Hey, I wonder if Jim's inside. Here's a clip.
Well, I'll be cooked in butter. It's Jim, the original fry cook.
Crabs!
This is my favorite department store. And like the heart of the big city. Upturns.